morning, Swans and Falcons. It's Miss Jennings here. I've got a bit of a different setup this morning, as you might notice. So instead of standing in front of the board, I thought I would try this method out. Let me know what you think. Maybe you could give the YouTube video a thumbs up if you like this way better, rather than me standing at the board. Okay, so today we are carrying on with percentages, but today our learning intention is, can I use my knowledge of percentages to find missing values? Okay, and our date is the 28th, it's Thursday today. So tomorrow Mrs. McGill is going to do a few more word problems with you relating to percentages, but then moving on next week, we're going to be moving on to a brand new topic. So let's start off by just warming ourselves up a bit with a few questions. Okay, so starting nice and easy. So we've got 10% of 350 here equals. So I've got my bar model over here to help me if I need it. It's split into 10 sections because we're trying to find 10%. Okay, so I'm trying to find the value of what 1/10 would be. So all we need to do is divide 350 by 10, which gives us 35. Okay, so now moving on to my next one, 30% of 350. Okay, well, I already know that 10% is 35, so I can multiply this by 3. Okay, so I'm going to just show my jottings up here. So 35 multiplied by 3, because 35 is 10%, multiply that by 3 will give me 30%. Okay, so 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. Okay, so I'm carrying my 1, 3 times 3 is 9, okay, so 9 plus 1 is 10, so there we go, 105. So there is my answer, 105. Okay, let's move on. So 25% of £32. Okay, so I know that 25% is equivalent to 25 100ths, and I also know that I can simplify that to 1/4. So again, I've got my bar model over here to help me. My whole is £32, and I've got my bar split up into 4 sections because I'm trying to find 25%, which is equivalent to 1/4. So I simply need to divide 32 by 4. Okay, and now with my times table knowledge, I know that 4 goes into 32 8 times. So I know that one of my squares is equivalent to 8. So there we go, 25% of 32 is 8. Okay, so 75% of 32. Now again, I can use my prior knowledge to work this one out, because I already know what 1/4 is, I know what 25% is, that's 8. 75% is 3 times 25%. So I could either multiply my 8 by 3, or I need to add another 25% on to 75% to reach 100%. So I could take the knowledge I know that 25% is equivalent to 8 and take that off of 100%, and my 100% this time is £32. Okay, because I know that 8 is 1/4, but at the moment I'm looking for what 3/4 is. Okay, so let me label that here. So 1/4 is 25%, 3/4 is 75%. Okay, so I could simply take 8 away from 32 to find out what 3/4 is here, which is equivalent to 75%. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So 32 take away 8, I know that that is 24. Okay, so I can double check that. So I'm going to label the rest of my box is 8. So what is 3 times 8? 8, 16, 24. Yep, I'm correct. So 75% of £32 is 24. Okay, so now we're all warmed up. Let's move on to today's learning. So 50% of something equals 250. Okay, so we've got a missing value here. 50% of my missing value is 250. So my missing value this time is my whole. Okay, so we can visualize this using a bar model again. Okay, so my whole is what I'm missing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But my question is telling me that 50% of my whole is 250. So I know that 50% is equivalent to 1/2. 50% is the same as 1/2. So I've labelled half of my bar model 250. So if I know that 1/2 is 250, the other half has to be 252. So to work out my missing number here, all I need to do is do 250 multiplied by 2, because those two numbers together complete my whole. Okay, so 250 multiplied by 2 equals 500. Okay, so in this scenario, 500 is my missing number. So let's read that through again. 50% of 500 equals 250. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, let's try another one. 25% of something equals 250. Okay, so this time, instead of trying to find 1/2, I'm trying to find 25%, which is equivalent to, what's that equivalent to? Yeah, 1/4. So I know that 1/4 of my whole is 250. Okay, so I've got a bar model again down here to help me. So my missing value again is my whole, it's my whole number. So my bar is that missing number up there. Okay, but all I know at the moment is that 1/4 or 25% equals 250. So I've split the bar up into 4 sections and I've labelled 1/4 as 250. So to work out my whole, as you can see, I need to multiply my one section by 4. Okay, so 250 multiplied by 4 equals, and that's going to give me what my missing value is. So I know that 250 multiplied by 4 is 1000. Okay, so that's my whole there. So let me write that in my missing number there. So let's read it back and make sure we've got that right. 25% of 1000 equals 250. So 1/4 of 1000 equals 250. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, so moving on to a worded problem here. So let's read it through together. 75% of year 6 are boys. There are 36 boys. How many children are there in year 6 altogether? Okay, so I know that 75% as a fraction is 3/4. Okay, so it's 75 1/100ths, but I can simplify that to 3/4. Okay, so again, my bar is here, and as I already know that 3/4 of my total is 36, because 3/4 are boys, and I know there are 36 boys, okay, I can actually label on this bar model that 3/4, okay, so 1, 2, 3/4 is 36, okay? But the question is asking me, how many children are there in year 6 altogether? So I need to know this value here. Okay, so what can I do to figure out what this total is here? Well, I can take what I do know, so 3/4. So 36 is my 3/4, and divide that by 3 to figure out what just 1/4 is. Okay, so 36 divided by 3 is 12. Okay, so I'm going to label that. So I know that 1 of my quarters is equivalent to 12. But if I know that 1/4 is 12, then I actually know that all of my sections, each of my sections, is 12. Okay, so now I know that 1/4 of the children, so 1/4 of the children in the year group, there are 12. 12 is equivalent to 1/4. Okay, but I'm trying to figure out how many children there are in the year group altogether. So I can simply do 12 multiplied by 4, Okay, so 12 multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, which is 48. Okay, so how many children are there altogether? There are 48 children in the year group altogether. Okay, let's try another one. So this question is saying 30% of people on the train are adults. The rest are children. There are 45 adults on the train. How many are there? How many people are on the train in total? Okay, so again, my bar model here is really going to help me with this question. Okay, so 30% of the people on the train are adults. Okay, so I know what 30% is. Okay, so a good idea is to split my bar up into 10 sections, because then that enables me to label what 30% is, because I know the 30%, or I know that 30% of the people are adults, and I know that there are 45 adults. Okay, so I can label 30% as 45, and I know this is 30% because it's split into 10 sections, and I've counted 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 10, 20, 30%. But I need to know, again, I need to know how many are on the train altogether. I don't just need to know how many adults. Okay, so I'm going to use the same strategy as we did before. I'm going to try and find out what 1 square equals. So to do that, I'm going to take my 45 and divide it by 3. Equals 15. Okay, so I'm going to label 1/10 or 10%, because that's what I've just worked out there. I've divided my 30% by 3, which has given me what 10% is. So I'm going to label 1/10 or 10% as 15 on my number line. Okay, so now I know what 1/10 is, I can easily figure out how many people are on the train, because I can take my 1/10 or my 10% and multiply it by 10. Okay, so 15 multiplied by 10 is 150. So there we go. There are 150 people on the train altogether. Okay, so this is the last one we're going to do together now. So this one says, a number of people voted on their favourite city. Complete this table. Okay, so these kind of questions can look a bit daunting at first, and we can think, oh, I don't have enough information to answer that. But if we work it through step by step, we can do this. Okay, because we know, can you see down here, so there's a total at the bottom here, and the total is of course out of 100%, because we know that percentages are always out of 100. Okay, and 100% is equivalent to 1,200. Here are all the cities down here as well. This column is the percentage of people that voted, and so this is the equivalent number of people that voted. Okay, so we know that 100% is equivalent to 1,200. So let's work our way upwards. So we know what 100% is. The number of people, or the percentage that voted for Pisa as their favourite city, was 10%. Okay, so I know that I can take my 100% and divide it by 10, okay, to get to 10%. So I'm going to take my 1,200 and divide that by 10, which equals 120. Nice and easy. Okay, so I've already worked out the number of people that voted for Pisa, which is 120. Okay, so the next city I'm going to look at is Paris. So what information do I have that I can use here? Okay, so the number of people that voted for Paris is 360. So how does that relate to the number of people that voted for Pisa? I can see that the number of people that voted for Paris, just using my number facts, I can see that I can easily multiply 120 by 3 to reach 360. Okay, so to get from 120 to 360, I've multiplied that by 3. Okay, so I need to do the same to the percentage. So I'm going to also multiply the percentage by 3, which nice and easy 10% multiplied by 3 is 30%. Okay, excellent. So 30% of people voted for Paris, which was 360 people. Okay, so what now? Right, I think I'm going to move up to London because Tokyo doesn't have any information, so I'm going to come back to that. But so it says here for London, 35% of people voted for London. So what do I already know that can help me figure out how many people that's equivalent to? Well, I already know that 30% of people voted for Paris, so that's almost 35%, but I need to figure out what 5% is then. Okay, well, I know 10% is 120, so I can just divide that by 2, can't I? So I'm going to do 120 divided by 2 equals 60. Okay, so I know that 60 is 5%, and I know that 360 is 30%. Okay, so I just need to add those together now. So 360 plus 60, okay, so 0 plus 0, got my 6, 12, and then 4. Okay, so 420. Okay, so I'm going to know that in 35% is equivalent to 420. Okay, so my last one now is Tokyo. So how can I go about working out what percentage of people voted for Tokyo? Well, now that the rest of my table is filled in, I know that the percentage, of course, totals to 100. So I can add up all the other percentages and find out which one is missing. Okay, so let's do 35 plus 30 plus 10. So they're the 3 percentages I already have. So I'm going to add those together. So 5, 6, 7, okay. So altogether, I have already accounted for 75% of people. Okay, so I know from what we've already done this lesson that 75% is equivalent to 3/4. So I'm missing 1/4 of people that haven't voted yet. Okay, so we're missing 1/4, and I know that 1/4 is equivalent to 25%. So I can write that down in my percentage. Okay, and how can we work out how many people therefore voted for Tokyo? Well, we know that 35% is 420, and we know that 10% is 120. So I can do 420 take away 120, because that would be 35% take away 10%, which will give me 25%. So 420 take away 120, which gives me 300. Okay, so let's just double check our working out now. So we know that all of our percentages add up to 100%, but do all of our numbers here add up to 1,200? Let's add all of those together. So 420, 300, 360, 120. Okay, so 2, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Add my 1 is 12. There we go, 1,200. So I am correct. Well done. So there we go. That brings me to the end of this lesson input. So go back onto the blog, see if you can find the worksheet for today, give it a try, and then let us know how you did. See you later.